So we went over a few notable mentions in financial independence. Save more and spend less. I know that sounds like a Walmart ad, but you get the concept. The true premise within all of our dialogue will always have the base of intention. Your true intentions, the way you want your life to look and feel, will always be key. Now we are moving along to a term that I am sure you are familiar with, credit. Now, if you're wondering why this is being mentioned when we just went over the importance of limited spending and saving, I wouldn't blame your concern. Because on the surface, creating debt does not fit in these categories. And honestly, I would like to say I agree. I mean, what sense does it make to swipe a card with borrowed funds and an attached interest rate? The small print that I previously warned you about, and then pay it back. Well, unfortunately, I do not make the rules. The letdown of picking out your favorite car and being told you don't qualify based on 3 not-so-simple numbers can truly have the power to make you recount all your financial decisions that impacted your credit standing. But that won't happen to you because you're already taking the initiative to make yourself knowledgeable about a few aspects of your future. I bet you're starting to see how intention stays relevant in your finances. Credit is a tricky concept. It requires the discipline and respect for not only your finances and future, but consideration for someone else's funds. Instead of you only being the cast member of this story, now someone has been invited into the financial independence party. Sounds like my type of party. But luckily your role in this has not changed. You're still going to be responsible for your input, which is essentially spending less. But now you will be adding the understanding of the components that make up your credit score. So what constitutes a good or bad credit? Your credit score will range from 300 to 800, with 300 being the lowest score possible. Now, in the simplest explanation, the lower your score means the higher a risk you are perceived to be by your creditor, which is someone else's money. Higher risk that you possess essentially means that you have not demonstrated positive financial choices in respect to your credit score. Credit score is a good way of essentially calling your bluff. So if you say you're financially reliable, this is how you prove it. A credit score is mainly comprised of your payment history and how much debt you owe to a creditor. In looking at your own payment history, it's basically looking at your ability to pay your bills on time. From the creditor's perspective, if your current bills are not being paid on time, this will not leave a positive lasting impression. And instead of keeping your late payment secrets between you and them, they'll essentially put you on full blast. Now from your perspective, if someone asks you to borrow $20 and you knew that they didn't pay a mutual friend back, you too would have your own reservations. Now, although this is technically your money since the card is secured, you have now included the bank to give you a little street cred and represent on your behalf to other creditors. The standard percentage borrowed should not go over 30% of the total balance of $300. That percentage is by the standard, but the lower the better. This is where minimal math comes in. 30% of $300 is 90 bucks, meaning your true credit limit is only 90 bucks. Yeah, I know. Who in the world would have thought of this? But the reason this is done is because if the creditor notices you are spending closer to the total credit limit, it kind of translates to you having limited control or impulse swipe habits. If you remember the spend less concept, this factor will be a breeze. Cash is tangible. You can see it, you can feel it, and you can even taste it if you're into that. However, credit is intangible, unseen to the naked eye, but steady lurking around and essentially keeping tabs on all your financial moves. Due to its lingering effects, it makes it so much more important to be prepared. The mismanagement of credit can stunt your financial growth for at least 7 years, which is virtually insane when it takes less than 7 seconds to swipe. Swipe responsibly, my friends.